Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So we're good. Okay, so I've gotten Katie to sit right at the edge of the trap table. I love using the trap table when it's a good height for your client because sometimes the feedback plays a huge role, right? So she's sitting right at the edge of the trap table so that she can feel her sits bones opening wide and she's able to sit up nice and tall on those sits bones. Now this is the right height for Katie, and I know that because her hips are a little bit higher than her knees. If you've got somebody whose whose feet cannot reach the floor, I would maybe pop a long box in front of them, just so that they're not having to dangle their legs down. So say that we're working on this leg, right? So we're thinking knee pathology. In general, I work at if I do one side and say I need to make sure that this side is really strong pre-surgery, I'm going to work on this side because it's already weak, right? If you're at the point where you need surgery, you've lost a lot of tone probably through that whole side of your body. But instead of just working that side, I do A, B, A. So I do the weaker side, do the good side, do the weaker side. Part of the reason being that normally the good side has pretty good range of movement and also pretty good alignment. So where I want to get this weaker side stronger in preparation or even post-surgery, I also want your body to understand what good movement is, right? And then sometimes if you're not doing something very well on that weaker side, if you do it on the good side, then your brain goes, oh cool, that's what I've got to do. And then you can go back and recreate that good movement on that weak side, right? Just saying, A, B, A. So you're on your tippy toes on the ball, the heel is lifted. What I'm looking at for any type of lower limb pathology, but we're thinking of pre-knee reconstruction or pre-knee surgery, I'm looking at the alignment from the bones at the hip. So I think of these two little bones, my ASI, as being headlights. From there, the knee comes straight down. From the middle of the knee, I'm pretty much looking to the second big toe. Right? So you want to stay nice and tall through the sits bones. You're going to start to slide the ball away from you and come onto the heel. So as you come onto the heel, you pull the toes back. Same concept as what we've just done, but now in a different position. And then you're going to bring the heel back towards the sits bones, dragging the heels towards the sits bones to your toe point. And then go again. Push away. So this is a really easy exercise for people to do at home. I like the ball because it challenges your stability. It gives you a little bit of feedback as to where you need to be moving. You definitely want your client to make sure that they can feel both of these muscles working. So remember, normally it's the VMO, that medial quad muscle, that isn't so good at doing its job if you're heading towards surgery. Does that make sense? Sometimes you lose the ball a little bit, but whatever, that's okay, you can come back and get it. You definitely, when you're dragging the heel in, you want to be dragging the heel back towards the sits bone, and then you can feel hamstrings, right? So I push the ball away, I feel my quads kick in, I pull the ball back, I feel my hamstring when I really focus through the heel. Ultimately, both top and bottom muscles are working the whole time, whether I'm going in or out, but they're working opposite. So one is working concentric, the other one eccentric. So one into its full length and one into its shortening. Yeah? And then I definitely would do the other side, come back and do this side, right? Most exercises you want to do to fatigue. So maybe I say, well, let's do 10 to 12, but if you can only do 6 good ones, then that's your fatigue point, and then you match it to the other side. So whatever I can do well on the weaker side, I match it to the other side, I come back onto this side, yeah? Okay, cool. I'm coming off